you're from Hungary? Tell your friends back in Hungary that you have to hold the line. This is not an American, this is not just a U.S. deal. This is global.
Yes,
this is global. And you got to hold the line globally. Poland and Hungary, please pay attention. Be vigilant. Because George Soros and Joe Biden, you can research past articles, they're coming for you. They're coming. They're coming for Hungary and Poland. Poland is very, very strong, and Hungary as well. But Poland especially, they're very strong.
Oh, really?
But they're strong. They're going to hold the line, I promise. But
how concerned are you about the crackdown on conservative expression, online media?
I was concerned about it when it first started happening. I was concerned about it when it happened. And nice to meet you. My blessings. I was concerned about it when it first started happening. It started happening where you can't express yourself, where you wear a particular t-shirt or a particular hat in public. You go to the grocery store and people spit on you or want to hit you or punch you. For what? And then these are the people that are claiming about peace and love and and then I think that what we're saying now you have to be willingly blind to not see that our First Amendment is being attacked, and no matter which side a person is on, they should be willing to stand for our First Amendment. It takes a narcissistic personality, and this is the main key. Any takeaway? Research the narcissist playbook and what everyone who's been standing for truth, justice, voting for Trump, going, you know what, this is what I believe, like what he's saying makes sense to me. And then all of a sudden, you get a crackdown and they project all of their guilt onto you. This is exactly the narcissist playbook. And we're dealing with a lot of narcissistic personalities, but it's collaborative now as a one big entity called the Democrat Party. And I'm not a person that sides with one or the other. I believe in truth and justice, and it happened to be that I like what Trump has done for this country. He's done amazing things, and I will continue to stand for truth and justice always.
What about the Republican Party now without Trump?
I don't think that there is going to be a without Trump. The Republican Party is over, except for those who stood. Those 10 that voted against him, guess what? You're done. They're done.
Well, don't you need them now to stand up for? I mean, they're the only ones with clout now in the Congress.
You know what? I think there's a lot of people trying to fight in an old school manner, which is call your local congressman, flood their lines, and do everything this particular way. But what happens when you fight true evil? They don't care what you say. When you call them up, they don't care. The congressmen don't care.
Unless you're a lobbyist.
So, unless you're a lobbyist or something to offer. So how do we fight something that is so evil and so dirty? It's very hard. This is the thing, is patriots are good people. At the Capitol, there was good people. There were old people, young children getting hit with tear gas. And I know the good people with the Capitol Police too. We're in a very interesting position, and I hope that everyone truly stands in the end whenever it comes to whatever it is. But we have to understand that when you talk to a bank robber and you say, hey, let me just talk some logic sense into you, you can't do it. You can't talk logic sense into someone who's a criminal. And that's exactly what we, the patriots, good people, good-hearted people, family people with children who are invested into the future, we're trying to talk logic and sense, and that doesn't make sense. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is what?
Insanity? Insanity,
and we know that. We have to understand that they play dirty, and we have to adjust our tactics and what we do. It's now time.
How about the mainstream media? Are they responsible for this brainwashing, divisiveness,
100%.
truth-telling, what they consider and erasing what you know is? I mean, do you believe that the election was fair and just?
The election was not fair and just. The truth and the information that came forward was never heard. It was blocked. And if the Democrat Party has nothing to hide, then why are you blocking it so much? And why the collusion that started with Hillary Clinton in 2000, before 2016 in Silicon Valley. Why all of that? Why did all those seeds come to collaborate? And now it's in full play, in full fruition. The media is complicit, and every single person, every time I ever see even a clip from CNN or any mainstream news, I think, my God, how are these people looking themselves in the mirror? How do you look yourself in the mirror when you're betraying your country, betraying your own family? Because you get a paycheck today. Guess what? That's not going to last too long under this next party if they come in. But you know what? It's not going to happen because Americans, there's more of us than there are of these people that are put into high positions. They work for us. Never forget that. They work for us. And guess what? Hollywood, you're just a bunch of actors. That's a real skill. Police. Hey, Hollywood, suck it. Take your sorry, I didn't mean to get all, non-PC, but you know what? Hollywood, the world deserves better, and we no longer worship you. Your time is over. Your time is over. The real people that are going to be worshipped in the end, that are going to have new monuments made of them, are the people that are standing now for truth and for justice. If you have nothing to hide, then why not let the case be seen? Oh yeah, by the way, Italy. What about Italy? What about all these other things that are happening? What happened with those military satellites? Leonardo SPA. Understand what's going on there. If you don't already know, you need to understand that. There is an organization in Washington, D.C. called, oh man, I'm looking for it in my mind.
Well, what about them?
This woman has it's a nonprofit. This woman has single-handedly, she's friends with Marla Trump, or has been connected to her, and I know Tiffany, so they've been working at getting the information to our president, Donald Trump, that the votes were actually used by military satellites using the defense contractor in Italy, Leonardo SPA.
But that they were being monitored.
They were using satellites, military satellites, to change the votes, to switch the votes in the middle of the night
in Georgia?
From Trump to Biden.
Where? In the Georgia.
I know. What I heard, the interview I heard was before. So we're talking about the November the 3rd, and I'm sure that it happened after that. Donald Trump has a lot of gatekeepers that he needs to. He needs to pay attention. The citizens are fighting harder at this point than the organizations, and also. I'm going to say it. The FBI and the CIA, there's certain organizations that are have betrayed the American public, and it's time where the citizens, unfortunately, we have to do our own work, our own research. Google is complicit, so now we can't. You have to know how to use Google, or you have to know how to use other investigation sources. I wish everyone so much love and peace and no violence, but when it comes to it, fight!